Thank you for giving me this opportunity. This is tectonic shifts into the agri-tech sector, and that is what we are going to present through our Cownomics technology. So before we begin, let me just show you a video of what we have done into sustainable agriculture. This is one of the case study in which what we did was we collected the wastewater from the industry, collected it into a pond, and there we did our treatment, transformed the industrial wastewater into usable water. So this, what you can see, is the pond. Now let me just pause the video here. Here you can see this is the rice mill from where the wastewater is coming in. So the rice mill wastewater is so bad that if you put it into a fertile land, it will go infertile. Then we had a cow shed here. This is the cow shed across the road. Here we had a biogas plant for the electrification of the farm. This is a 32 acres farm. So we got this entire wastewater from the industry to come into this pond, and the biogas plant had another waste which was the slurry. So slurry was also coming into the same pond. Here we did the treatment, and now the treated water was transformed into neuro-immuno booster for plants and animals. Now the same water was used for animal husbandry, and it was also used for agriculture after transformation. So the farm went disease, pest, and weather resilient. The yield for the dairy had also gone up, and the yield for the farm had also gone up. The input cost was minimized because there was no fertilizer or pesticide or insecticide, no kind of input was required, and the yield in terms of the quality and quantity both had increased. So how it was done is what we call as economics technology, which is, I mean, our objective is to build a recession-free economy, which can be possible only when the ecology is contamination-free. What you see in front of you is another case study from Moradabad. This is purely from the perspective of rejuvenation of the water body. Wasteland or a dump yard was transformed into a fresh water body, which was actually a collection of sewage, but because the ecology was in good health, it was transformed, and that is how you see the entire landscape gets transformed. The two pictures you can see. So if we look at the agri sector, the biggest challenges that we have is the weather irregularities, disease attacks, and pest attack. Now, this is something with which the entire agri industry is fighting, but their approach is not a very holistic approach, and that is why they face a lot of challenges, because whatever approach they're taking, they're only taking an approach to tackle organism by organism. So if we look at the root cause of the problem, contaminated soil, water, and air leads to unhealthy ecology, which leads to a weak plant because the plant immunity is compromised, which increases the farmer inputs with a high investment into fertilizers and insecticide, pesticide, weedicide. The entire approach of farming is very, very cost intensive, and basically what happens is the native ecology in soil, water, and air is kind of abolished, due to which all these inputs are required, and once you are putting in so much of chemical inputs, the natural process of pollination gets compromised, and ultimately it results into a lower yield, and even the harvested crop will not be having that kind of a longevity, and the chemicals enter into the human food chain. So our approach for solving this problem is we restore the native ecology in soil, water, and air, which leads to restoration of the ecosystem services, which leads to a stronger plant, a stronger basic immunity of the plant, or the animal farm or the fishery is increased multiple times. So your input cost is reduced, your yield is high in both in terms of quality and quantity. Then you can actually enter into a symbiotic farming, wherein in the same farm you can have agriculture, animal husbandry, and pisciculture, which will lead to waste of one getting into the usage of another, because in nature there is no concept of waste or wealth, so everything gets utilized within the farm, and the entire problem is sorted out. The farm goes disease, pest, and weather resilient. That is what we showed you into the initial case study. Now, how it is done is because every water body has got a lot of ecosystem services to provide that we categorize into mitigation, conservation, and maintenance services. When all these services are restored, the water gets transformed into neuro-immuno booster for plants and animals, because it is number one, highly oxygenated. Number two, it has got the complete mineral balance, and all the micronutrients are there within the water itself. So there is a particular methodology with which the irrigation is done. There is no flooding. It is only foliar spray, and there is a specific time for the foliar spray to happen, which leads to a stronger plant. So what we are working on is strengthening the immune system of the plants and the animals instead of fighting organism by organism. So that's the difference in the approach. So air, soil, water, and subsurface water, everything is linked together, and that is why nature has kept them in particular positions. So when we resolve the ecosystem services from the water bodies, all these problems are taken care of. So this is how the water body gets transformed, and the water turns into neuroimmuno booster for plants and animals, and the impact is measured. So the sustainable agriculture from the industrial wastewater is what we have already shown you in the video. There are plenty of crops on which we have tried our solution, and everywhere it has worked into multiple times growth into the yield and even the longevity of the crop, like into the tomato case study. Uh, Usually, the tomato has to be sold out into the market within a span of 3 days after harvesting, whereas in our case it was good for even 20-22 days. So these are the kind of projects that we have done, approximately about 41 odd projects. These are the water body projects that we have done. These are not the agriculture projects, and the impact is millions of liters of sewage is treated every day, even today as we speak, and that gets transformed into usable water. So 300 plus acres of water bodies have been saved with our technology. There are over 3 million people who have been saved out of the air pollution, over 2 million people from water and vector-borne diseases, over 100 million liters would have been recharged into the groundwater, and 100 plus species have been saved as far as the biodiversity conservation is concerned. We started doing the academic research in 2011. 2016, the technology was ready, and then we started doing the field research. 2019, we got the first government project of water body rejuvenation. And finally, after perfecting the technology for almost 5-6 years, after a decade of when we started the research, 2021, we registered the LLP as a startup, and the patent has been filed in 2023. So if you look at the opportunity size, 1,20,500 crores is what government spends annually on the subsidies. So obviously, it will go up and down depending upon the year, depending upon the rainfall. But this is a data taken from Ministry of Finance website. You can see about 70,000 crores as a fertilizer subsidy. All this entire subsidy can be waived off, because in our approach of agriculture, there is no fertilizer required. Over 20,000 goes into the farm credit subsidy, which is the crop compensation. And again, because we our crop is disease, pest, and weather resilient, again that is also not required. So this much amount of exchequer is saved. Crop insurance is 6,500 crores, and MSP is 24,000 crores. Again, everything is linked to agriculture, and all these are the annual expenses that we can save upon with the government adopting towards this kind of a nature-based solution, which is of symbiotic agriculture. Obviously, the farmer's income is also increasing multiple times with our approach. So we work 100% on partnership basis. We build our business partners, we train them, educate them, we do the technical handholding also. They go and they operate in their circle of influence, they pick up the project. they only execute the project and they only collect the payment. They only get the payment first, and it's all milestone based. One milestone achieved and they move on to the next milestone. So month on month they keep achieving the milestone. Milestones are decided in the beginning of the project itself, and month on month they keep getting the payment. So this has been our year on year growth. 2021 we started, 22 we were 8 lakhs, 23 80 lakhs, 24 we are expecting 8 crores, so that we maintain the pace. As of now 6.2 crores has been booked, so we still have some months to go. Probably we'll be able to book all 8 crores within this year. So that's the growth potential. These are some of the accomplishments and the awards that we have earned over the years. 2019, we got the Water Hero Award from Jal Shakti Mantralaya. 2020, we got certified by TED as idea was spreading. We gave a TED talk in 2020. 21, we were global top author by Smart Water magazine. This year, we were globally number 4 in 21. This year we are globally number 2 by Smart Water Magazine annual global survey. We are also the technology partner for Amrut 2.0 for Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, which we got last year. RC Mishra Nature Care Award is a civil society award. Certificate of appreciation has been given to us by Ministry of Home Affairs, by National Institute of Disaster Management. ESG Enabler Technology of the Year award was given to us by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and Best Environmental Startup in Uttar Pradesh was the award from Startup in UP. So we are three partners. I am Madhukar Swambhu. Pankaj is also there with me, who is the operations head, and Chandrasekhar unfortunately is not available today because he had a couple of meetings. As a sales head, he is a very busy person. So that's the end of the presentation. If you have any queries, you can ask.